Hey gents, so following on from a conversation I had with a gent today, and it brought up an aha moment for him, and also something that I've experienced in my life, and I know a lot of blokes go through, and it's an important topic to I guess bring awareness to you guys, but also something that we all need to probably talk about more and continue growing on, because it's simple on paper, black and white, it's easy, but everyone's experiences, emotions and understandings are different, which is why the more we have to learn from, the better chance we have of relating to someone and really understanding how they've overcome certain things. And that is the relationship, right? There's obviously divorce rates are at an all-time high, and male suicide as a result of a relationship breakdown is at an all-time high. And one of the things that I believe is being forgotten in relationships is the intention of continuing to put the work in, right? We think about when you're going through that honeymoon period, or you're first getting together, and as Jensen, I can speak from experience, you bend over backwards to try and impress them, to really get to understand your partner and figure everything out and just really make them fall in love with you. And then after a while, I'll speak from my experience, you become complacent and you stop doing all those things that really had you fall in love with that person in the first place, or made you realize that you wanted to be with that person. And what happens when you generally neglect things, right? You think about your health or your finances or anything like that. If you neglect certain things, they fall apart. And that generally happens in relationships as well. And I speak to men all the time where they say, oh, my relationship's gone stale. And the first response is, well, one, why do you feel it's gone stale? Because there's two real outcomes. One, it's gone fucking stale. Or two, you just aren't putting in the work like you used to. And like I said, if you aren't putting the work with things, generally it falls apart. So the first place to start is really coming back to doing things that you were doing at the start of the relationship. And I don't mean specific things like, I have to go back to that pizza shop we always used to go to. No, I mean, one, you were definitely intentional with your time. Two, you were really actually genuinely interested in finding out how your partner's day was. You were sending the messages, you were doing all these things, right? We all have our own things, but if you go back to doing those things, you're going to find something out, right? One, you're really going to find out if your relationship comes back to life, right? If you realize that when you start putting in the work, the results come, and the result in a relationship is you want a thriving, fucking enjoyable, engaged relationship. Or two, you'll find out that it's fucking, we're done and you can move on. But I know a lot of gents, that is a topic of conversation and a thought that goes through a lot of your mind. So, my tip would be start being intentional with the time that you're spending with your partner. Get to know them again, because once again, you're not the same person you were when you got into the relationship, if you've been together for a while, and they're not the same person. So don't just assume they are. Continue to get to know them, continue to get to know what excites them at this point in time, what their goals are, all those sorts of things, right? It's a never-ending work in progress, and the more you get to do that, the more exciting it becomes, right? Because you get to grow together and you get a deeper understanding. So that's just off the back of a conversation I had with a mate today, and I thought, let's share it, because I definitely believe it's something that a lot of you guys can get some value from. And if you have any of your own experiences, definitely please share them below, because like I said at the start of this, it's easy on black and white how to have a good relationship, but I think human emotion and what we all experience in that is something that's not shared enough. And like I said, some of you guys may relate to what I've just shared here and some of you may not, but if you share your own experiences, there's going to be different people who relate with different versions of that. So thank you guys for tuning in, and share this with a buddy that needs it.